When I say Lake Tahoe, you immediately think of world-class, unmatched, unparalleled beauty. Well, this ain't half bad either, and it's only a stone's throw away. Lots of recreational activities and a lot of history. Let's go explore Spooner Lake. This is a gorgeous area in the Lake Tahoe Basin. The Spooner Backcountry is a wide-open recreational and natural oasis. It's full of aspens and more than 12,000 acres of forested open space. The park features 50 miles of hiking, equestrian, and mountain biking trails and primitive roads. A few of the more popular trails are Marlette, Red House, Flume, and Tahoe Rim trails. I started out with a leisurely hike around Spooner Lake, then met up with Steve from Nevada Parks. Tell me about you and where you're from originally. How'd you get into this?
Well, I went to school for Recreation and Park Administration and ended up applying for Nevada State Parks and got a job offer out of Las Vegas, and I've been with Parks ever since.
And how's it working out for you?
It's a great job. I'm at Spooner Lake, and as you can see, it's one of the best jobs you can imagine.
Yeah, I can't believe this is your office. I mean, I can't stop looking at it. Let's start with the name. Who was Spooner?
So Michelle Spooner was an entrepreneur that came to the area, and he started a shingle mill here at Spooner Lake and established this area. And
wow, he knew what he was doing. So let's talk about the lake itself. How deep is it?
It's about 20 feet deep.
Is it as cold as Lake Tahoe?
No, it's not. It's a lot shallower, so throughout the summer it'll warm up. In the wintertime it freezes up, but it's already thawed out here by the end of May, and it'll just continue to warm up throughout the summer.
What kind of activities happen here? Can you go camping?
There is camping in the area. Those campgrounds are in the backcountry, so the closest one is up North Canyon Road. It's about a 2-mile hike up North Canyon Road. But in this immediate area, you can walk around Spooner Lake. We have a trail, 2-mile trail that goes around the lake, and there's biking as well.
You got fish in here?
We do. There's tiger trout, rainbow, and cutbow.
And fishing is allowed?
Fishing is allowed with a proper license.
Can you bring your pets? Can you go for a walk with your dog out here?
Absolutely. A lot of people bring their dogs out. It's a nice area to take the dog for a stroll around the lake. There is a leash law that they're required to be on, but it's a nice area for it.
I get the feeling that if you come to Lake Tahoe and it's kind of crowded, you could come here and have just as good an experience, yeah?
Absolutely. You won't have the crowds that you'll have at the lake, especially if you're at like a beach area. Spooner is one of those areas where you can get away from the Lake Tahoe crowd, but still enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, there's nobody out here on a day that's absolutely perfect. Man, it is incredible.
It is. The backcountry off Spooner Lake is such a great opportunity to be transported. You'll find yourself deep in a forest, surrounded by aspen and pines. Here, you can hike or bike, and you'll very rarely see a vehicle back here, and if you do, it will be for official park business. I made my way through the backcountry to meet up with my old friend, Jay Howard. Jay has a wealth of information and loves the Spooner Lake area. We made our way back to Marlette Lake on the way to the Flume Trail.
This is Marlite Lake.
Who was Marlette?
Named after a guy named Seneca Marlette. He was the first surveyor general for the state of Nevada. And he had been a surveyor general for California. He was the guy and his crew who first surveyed this whole area back in the mid-1800s.
So this is a little off the beaten path, but there's a lot doing here, isn't there? I mean, there's a lot to do.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people that come up here. This is a non-motorized backcountry with a lot of hikers, equestrians, people on horseback, and mountain bikers.
Can you go fishing out here?
Oh yeah. This lake is open to fishing. It's got a very short season because it's also used as a fishery where they collect eggs, but you can fish here. So we do get a lot of people on mountain bikes that are, they've got their fly poles in their packs.
Oh, interesting. Pristine, a little bit remote. What kind of animals you got up here, Jay?
I saw a black bear not too long ago. There's a lot of black bears up here. Bird life, like all the raptors, the osprey, and we have bald eagles up here. Mule deer, of course.
What's feeding the lake? What keeps it at its level?
This lake is kind of hemmed in with this watershed that we see around us, and there's about 6 kind of smaller creeks that bring water in, but it's really just the snow shed that puts all the water into this lake.
Roughly what elevation are we at right now?
About 7,200.
7,200.
Yeah.
What is this structure that's right here? What is that all about?
This was a cabin, and this chimney that you see is actually the back of the cabin. And back then, in the 1930s, when this cabin was built by the owner of the water system, the Virginia Gold Hill water system that operated here back then, that person just built a family cabin, like a summer cabin. And it was back when the lake was lower, so the cabin would have been kind of out over what is now water.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having a cabin right here and it's yours?
Yeah, yeah.
When you come to a place like this, does it still hit you like it does me? What do you feel when you come out here?
Just the solitude. I mean, we were kind of talking a little bit before about there can be a lot of people out here, but it's still a dispersed use, right? So we get visitors up here in the backcountry, but they're all kind of going their own way on bike or on foot. And it's this feeling of solitude up here that is just, phenomenal, especially on a quiet day, midweek, not the weekend, right? And it's just a quiet place to be.
You mentioned bikes. I've been around Nevada a lot, and lately I'm seeing these e-bikes. You know anything about those?
Electric bikes,
Yeah.
it's back here you see a lot of mountain bikes because we're in this sort of territory, and we've got mountain bikes that are e-bikes now. They've got a battery, they've got a small motor, they're pedal assist, so they help you pedal, small motor.
I sense you have one.
I do have one.
Can we take a look?
We can take a look if you'd like.
Let's go. Nice wheels, Jay.
This is an e-bike.
Let's talk about e-bikes right now, because I'm seeing them everywhere. They're just catching fire. What's the etiquette? What are the rules and regulations out here for an e-bike?
In the last couple years, e-bikes have really hit the backcountry. And this is a little bit more of a cruiser. It's not a high-end mountain bike like they have. How the state of Nevada defines an e-bike is less than 750 watts and can't go over 20 miles per hour. And that's it. I mean, there's no classes. Like in California, there's a class 1, a class 2, a class 3. In Nevada, it's either an e-bike or not. And if it's anything more than that, like they have versions of this with throttles where you just throttle and you go. This bike, you have to pedal before it starts to assist, right? So this is a pedal assist bike. Got a big battery in here, got a motor right here. You've got to treat it just like any other bike that you'd be on. They can be dangerous. You can go down and hurt yourself. Injuries are not uncommon, but they're really not any different than a regular mountain bike. So if somebody out there is thinking, oh my gosh, e-bikes, they're going to be harder on the trail, they're going to be loud, it's really just not the case. I mean, they're, like you said, they're pretty quiet. And in my opinion, the impact that these wheels have on the trail are not any different than a regular mountain bike.
Well, you know what I'm about to ask you right now. You know what I'm about to ask.
You got to ride this thing.
Can I try it out?
You can try it out.
So it's as simple as riding a bike?
It's pretty simple, like I said, but there's an on and off button.
Okay.
So you just turn on the power.
That's it.
And with a pedal assist bike, all you're going to do is start to pedal.
That's it.
You've got pedals, brakes, just like everything else. As soon as you start to pedal, it will assist you, and you'll feel it kind of kick in a little bit.
You know, you're the leader in all the craziest trends.
Yeah.
The newest thing on your block. Go talk to Jay.
E-bikes.
I'm gonna go take a ride.
Okay, have fun.
Awesome. Catch you later, Jay.
See ya.
Now, I'm all for hitting the trails on a mountain bike and putting in the effort, but this e-bike has really changed my perspective. Pedal assist is a game changer. You're still putting in the work, but with a little help. And the help, well, it allows you to enjoy the sights and appreciate the ride. I did break a sweat, but I wasn't gasping for air. It was really enjoyable. A local rider in his 60s who's still pretty hardcore told me he recently bought an e-bike and he looks at it like playing the guitar. He loves playing the acoustic, but he also likes making some noise with the electric.
Woo-hoo! Oh man, epic. I mean,
How do you describe perfection? Speechless. Look, the next time you come to Lake Tahoe, check it out. Breathe in the fresh air, take the sights. But make sure you take time to go to Spooner and Marlette Lakes. And when you do, you'll go home and your friends and loved ones will say, well, how was it? And you'll say,